The Lyrians ascended the highest section of the Mahakam range. Snow crunched under their boots, cold air stung their lungs, and the wind snapped at their cloaks. Meve wiped sweat from her brow and turned to Raina.
There! By the rocks! We shall...
The rest of her words were drowned out by a powerful blast. The entire mountain rumbled with a low, vibrating roar. The sound grew louder, echoing off the rocks, splitting their ears. The Lyrians looked around, disoriented. Few heard Gabor's warning.
Dinna just stand there! Get behind a rock! Quick! Hurry!
Meve followed the dwarf's gaze and cried out in terror. The snow stuck to the mountainside had started to slide down the slope, sending up mists of icy dust. Before she could react, the white torrent knocked her to her knees, crushing her and smothering her into the ground. All she felt after that was all-encompassing cold and fear. Meve survived. The dwarves who ran to the Lyrians' rescue dug her out of the snow in time. Some of her soldiers were not so lucky. The queen looked at their bodies, blue, frozen. Next to them lay dead horses, demolished wagons. The losses were enormous. Meve wiped her cheek. Her tears burned her frozen skin. Gabor spoke a while with the leader of the Mahakam guard patrol that had come to their rescue. His face was dour.
What? What have you learned?
I'll tell you all in good time. First, you need a warm drink, good victuals.
No, Gabor. I need to find out what in blazes happened here.
Well, it was an avalanche.
Of course it was an avalanche. I'm no fool. But what caused it? What was that noise?
Signal horns. Ours.
So you brought this snow down on us?
Well, aye, but, unawares.
Explain, in brief.
See, we clean our mount regularly. The way menfolk shovel snow off their roofs. Otherwise, the whole shebang would come tumbling down on our heads. When snow's gathered deep enough, we...
All well and good, but why did you decide to clean up right as I was passing through?
Wondering that myself. Schedule says next cleaning should have been a week frae now. But someone asked the route to be cleared earlier.
Who?
Meve, I'll tell you. But first, promise you'll...
Who?
Hey. Owain ep Clenvog, the Nilfgaardian emissary. Think it were meant as revenge for attacking their caravan.
The bastard. Reynard! Reynard!
Wait! Wait! I understand you're a wee bit upset, you've every right. But you'll...
I've no such scruples. I'll find him and kill him.
And then? How'd you tell that tale to Bruva? Meve, you're justly torped, but for the love, just this once, let it go. Or you'll leave Mahakam with nae a scrap to show for it.
Moments later, scouts reported Owain was camped to the north of the accident site. Meve had to decide how much she was willing to risk to get her revenge on the Imperial emissary.
Singkatnya, ini ada kesalahpahaman. Sebenarnya memang bukan salah paham sih. Ini udah direncanain sama Nilfgaard. Tapi memang yang dilakuin tuh ya si penjaga ini nih, dwarf gitu loh.
By the elder sideburns, I'd no notion anyone was in the Vale. Nilfgaardians said the road was clear. What a mess. I'm so sorry. With all my heart. By the elder side...
Nah iya, jadi memang semuanya ini udah direncanain sama Nilfgaard. Karena kan yang dari surat yang waktu itu ditangkapin ada scout tuh yang tiap malam memantau pergerakannya si Meve. Nah ini gitu loh. Ini efeknya. Nah ini kita bisa serang sih. Cuman ini kayaknya ada pilihan buat kita untuk tahan gitu loh. Mungkin kita klik dulu.
There, milady, whispered one of the scouts.
Left of the path.
Meve squinted. The Nilfgaardians had taken shelter from the falling snow under a rocky out. Meve's gaze caught something else. A metal container into which the Nilfgaardians tossed bones once they'd been gnawed clean. It looked strangely familiar. Only after a moment did the Queen understand it was an overturned Lyrian helmet dug out of the snowy grave of one of her men.
The Horsens.
Meve hissed.
They'll pay for this.
Meve! Asking you last time, keep a cool head.
Whispered Gabor.
You want vengeance? I get it. But think of the cost. If so much as a hair gets plucked from O'Vane's head, Bruver will never forgive you. And you can kiss any hope of aid goodbye.
Silence followed. Finally to be broken by one of the scouts.
Milady, what's the order? Do we attack?
Kesel sih. Cuman ya kita juga harus tahu peraturan dari si mahakam kan. Kalau kita terlalu nafsu bisa aja nanti si Brotherhood nggak bisa nolong kita kan. Kemungkinan sih ini.
No.
Said the Queen after long deliberation.
But milady, they...
I know what they did. And that I shall never forget nor forgive.
Said Meve, placing a hand on her scout's shoulder.
But breaking Dwarven law only plays into the Nilfgaardians' hand, causing us to lose allies and our chance for victory.
Meve brushed the snow from her trousers and straightened her spine.
Avenge our comrades we shall. Not here, but in the fields of Lyria and Rivia.
The Lyrians resumed their march with heavy, beleaguered steps. Their path still piled high with the snow brought down by the Nilfgaardians.
Oke, kita forgo sih ini. Karena ya memang kita coba tahan dulu serangannya.
While passing the mining settlement of Kolstok, Meve heard the sounds of battle.
Hey-ho! Into the fray, lads!
Expecting she would see monsters swarming dwarves, the Queen set off at a gallop to the rescue. The dwarves she saw, however, were not engaged in a battle against Shaelmars and Barbigazes. No, they were going at one another. Luckily, no weapons had yet been drawn, but given the dwarves have hands the size of bread loaves, this did not necessarily mean there would be no deaths.
Oi, lads!
Roared Gabor Zigrin.
What's this foolishness? Calm the hell down, damn it!
Gabor's intervention proved successful. The dwarves limited themselves to verbal jousting. Meve, who was no stranger to barrack room talk, nonetheless turned crimson at the dwarves' cursing. Piecing together the obscenities, Meve concluded they were debating an old quarrel about the height of a certain mountain, or rather of the twin peaks atop it. One of them lay in the territory of Clan Dol, but Meve knew well that this type of age-old quarrel could easily end in bloodshed, so she resolved to help.
Time to end this delicate feud, once and for all.
Oke, kita ambil dulu ini. Kayaknya ada masalah monster nih dari pertengkaran para dwarf. Kemungkinan kita bisa kiri dulu buat ngambil treasure chest. Nah, di sini.
When she and her force had travelled half the way to the first, she heard a long roar that made snow shelves detach and descend. Without waiting for her scouts to return with reports, Meve drew her sword.
Don't like this.
Eyes up, lads! They're flying straight for us! You mad? Don't shake that!
Kita ambil dulu ini.
Quite the clever little contraption they gave us. Work of a gnome, of course.
Hey?
Kita bisa serang.
Obelisk to your command.
Kita serang ini.
Armor won't say.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
Oke, manis. Oke.
Cursed traitors.
Oke, kita serang ini dulu. Terus ini.
Discipline shall bring us victory.
Empat ya. Ini berapa tuh? Agak 4, 6.
Lyria!
Salah lagi. Udah.
Prepare to fight, if you've any honor.
Take those measurements and let's be gone from this place.
The Lyrians managed to repel the monsters and reach both peaks. Upon each, Meve ordered her men to take the measurements. While waiting, she admired the breathtaking view of the Mahakaman Massif. The dwarven contraption left no room for doubt. The peak within the Dahlberg clan territory was 2 feet higher than that within Hoog territory. Gabor was clearly displeased with the results.
Damn it all! I'd hoped you'd prove Brewer's clan was in the right. He'd have been content to see the Dahlbergs knocked down a peg or two, and, possibly, he'd have been more inclined to help you,
said the dwarf in frustration. Then, after a pause, he added,
Although, only you saw what the device showed, Queen. Perhaps you could, recalibrate the results a wee bit?
'Tis most lowly and ignoble.
Ake cried out in protest.
A knight his honor would never stain with such a lie.
To lie would be simple, true.
Said Meve.
Yet to forget the matter would be so much harder. No, Gabor, I shall tell the truth.
The Queen's tone made it clear the discussion was over. Gabor let the matter lie, and Meve's force began its descent down the mountainside.
Oke, jadi sebenarnya ya kita memang ngasih tahu yang bener aja gitu loh tentang ukuran dari puncak yang ini sama puncak yang di ujung tadi tuh. Nah, ini bakal kita ceritain ke warga-warga.
The dwarves of both clans had been waiting with bated breath for the expedition's return and report. As soon as Meve announced the results, the Dahlbergs rolled barrels of beer out into the square and began to celebrate. Naturally, the Hoogs were disappointed, yet they accepted Meve's results as final.
Jadi sebenarnya kita jadi dapat kepercayaan dari si warga-warga ya, atau klan dari si dwarf ini.
Frostbite, you'd best avail yourself of some honey juice. Even better if you had a wee nip of vodka. Look, one, first.
As Meve neared Langbridge, she ordered her bugler to announce her arrival, then retired to her tent to freshen up. Gascon was already inside.
I do not seem to recall summoning you.
In that case, I must tell you to fret not. Nothing wrong with your memory. I've come with no agenda. Spontaneously, call it, to chat.
Then I propose you leave. Just as spontaneously, call it. I must don fresh clothes. I'm to see the Elder soon, and I'd prefer to not smell of horse sweat.
Doubt it'd make much difference to him. And be assured, I know what I speak of. When last we met, I found myself standing downwind of him. A pungent experience.
Well, you were saved the experience of his breath. So pungent I thought I might faint.
Well, to revive you, pinch you awake, I'm sure would be quite a pleasure.
Gascon, I beg your pardon. Ugh, I shall have nightmares now.
Not tonight. For I fear you might not sleep at all. You see, there's something you ought to know. And decidedly before you meet with Bruver. The sites we cleared of beasts, I ferreted a bit. Noted something peculiar. Any notion what it was?
None. The monumental dwarven architecture, perhaps?
Bones, my dear Meve. Dwarven bones. Now, guess what I found on them?
Wait, don't dare give me any hints. Bite marks.
Of course. After all, they'd been gnawed clean of all flesh by monsters, incidentally making it quite easy to spot other markings. Ones made by axes and swords. To be certain, I showed the bones to our medics, and they confirmed my conclusion.
Meaning what? That the entire clan, the Fuchses,
did not perish due to an invasion of beasts from the depths. The monsters merely ate the bodies and occupied empty homes. Now, I shared my discovery with Gabor, and guess what he did? He panicked. He started to squirm, babble nonsense. I wager my right arm, he's hiding something.
blast. Overly eager to aid us from the start he was. I might have sensed something. I shall have him summoned at once. And I thank you, Gascon. I won't forget this.
Minutes later, Gabor stood before the Queen. At first, he tried to mislead her with evasive answers, but as her pointed questions demolished one clumsy excuse after another, he had to give in.
Oi. As King Desmond said after a hefty squirt in his hose, we can't sweep this under the rug.
If you think I welcome jests in this moment, you err. My fingers itch to summon the hangman.
Right. So... 'tis true. I misled you. On our clan elder's orders, supposed to make sure you destroyed Burr's Rump and Davor's Abyss thoroughly enough to leave nae a trace.
What? Why? What did they wish to hide?
They was home to the Fuchses, our mortal enemies. They'd been a-boiling our heinies for ages, thumbing their noses, taking what they want when they want, and the Elder-in-Chief didn't gie a ploughing whit. So to stop them, our clan, we did the unpardonable. The Ziggurin elders saw their chance and they...
Gods. So you were responsible for the deaths of all those dwarves?
Me? I didn't raise a finger. Tried to stop them, in fact.
No witnesses survived, meaning you must have murdered the entire clan.
Queen, you sure you...
I am. And you should be sure to answer in full, omitting no detail.
A few years back, we got pummeled by a horrendous winter. Stone-breaking frosts, white-out storms, avalanches, made travelling a painful form of suicide. Hunger drove beasts out of their dens. Pass was covered in the filth. Got to where they paced rout outside the walls. Fuchses fought a hard, bloody fight to keep the critters out of Davar's abyss. Lost near every axe-wielding dwarf they had. Only survivors had to winter at Burr's Rump. Our elders felt such an opportunity wouldn't knock again. After killing the town's meagre guard, they set fire to it and barricaded the gates. They didn't stand a chance.
Bastards. How in the world did the truth go undiscovered?
Once it were over, our dwarves opened the gates. Before they'd lit their pipes, starving beasts came crawling out of the pass. The stank of dead flesh were strong. Zigrins who came back from that never were the same. If you'd only gandered their gaze when they had us all take a vow of silence. And then...
You invented that blarney about primeval monstrosities the Fuchses had awoken by mining too deep. A riveting tale, and one with a moral to boot.
Aye. But the elders worried Brewer would suspect something all the same. That's why they wanted you to destroy all the evidence.
Repugnant. You claim not to have taken part, but neither did you do anything to stop the massacre.
What was it to do exactly? The elders had decided. Nae dwarf would listen to me.
You might have informed the Elder-in-Chief. The guilty would have been punished.
The guilty? You didna ken Brewer. He'd punish the whole clan. Women, children, nae exceptions. Meve, Queen, I'm begging you. He canna ever learn of this. Aye, I want a hack flame too when I think what the elders done. But t'other way it'd bring but more pain and death.
I need to consider what's right. Meanwhile, Gascon, make sure Gabor remains our guest.
Of course. I'll let you know if he so much as rolls his eyes towards an escape route.
Hey,
For Frost.
jadi pembicaraan tadi itu adalah ceritain kalau misalkan si Gascon tuh menemukan sesuatu yang janggal nih di sebuah kejadian yang tadi kita ke mana? Ya maksudnya apa yang kita lakukan buat si Gabor. Nah jadi sebenarnya dia melihat bahwasanya si Gabor tuh punya rencana yang sebenarnya tanpa sini dan pasukannya tahu untuk menghilangkan bukti-bukti bahwasanya mereka termasuk si Gascon dan beberapa dwarf lain itu ngebunuh satu klan namanya tadi Fuchsia Fuchsia gitu. Nah, karena kebetulan ada Meve, terus dia ada misi buat ngancurin tadi tuh dam, itu adalah supaya ngancurin si bukti-bukti bukti kekejaman dari si dwarf yang ngebunuh klan itu gitu. Si Gascon udah curiga dari awal, tadi coba diobrolin sama si Gabor sebenarnya mengakui itu, cuma pada akhirnya si Meve udahlah, ini bakal jadi pertimbangan aku lah gitu. Oke, kita udah golden chest found. Turn back dulu. Kita cek dulu nih. Ada point of interest, kita lupa lagi belum sana. Kita nambahin dulu. Oh, ini dapat uang. Oke. Biar nambah moral dulu aja, nggak apa-apa. Terus kita mau ke sini, ke bawah. Di sini sebenarnya nyeritain para dwarf yang masih muda tuh menghilang dan orang tuanya nyari. Cuman di sini kita bisa refuse to help bahasanya. Kenapa?
Meve noted that Gabor proceeded customarily only a few the guard captain.
Nah, karena kalau kita search the missing dwarfs, kita mesti nyerang dwarfnya yang dia join sama Skoyatel. Nah, dari situ ada dua pilihan di mana antara kita mau ngilangin Rayla atau kita ngilangin Isbel. Dan aku nggak mau itu terjadi, jadi kita review saja.
If your guards who know these mountains like
Kita
the backs of their
refuse.
hands could not find them.
Said,
Biarin menggantung. Kita coba ke fast travel lagi. Mana lagi nih? Yang ini kita ngambil uang 180. Oke, ini ada yang ketinggalan di atas. Kita balik ke fast travel. Oke, kita ke sana dulu. Wait. Ya itu sebenarnya yang Nilfgaard ya yang kita nggak nyerang. Oke, kita sampai sini dulu. Kita bakal ketemu Brotherhood. Terus ya apa yang terjadi kita lanjutkan lagi. Bye bye.